The Force will be with you.
Always.
Hello my friends, how are you doing today? I'm Star Wars Meg, here to give you all of the news from a galaxy far, far away and to provide you with another Mandalorian Season 2 update. We have a lot of really exciting news to get through today guys, so please stay with me until the end. But before we get into the video guys, please may I ask you to hit like down below, to subscribe to my channel if you're new, and also please hit the notification bell to be alerted every time I upload a new video. But without further ado, let's get into our first news story. So we start with something really interesting, and this is about a potential familiar face that could be returning to The Mandalorian Season 2. This news article comes from Inside the Magic and it states, is Season 2 of The Mandalorian about to introduce another familiar face? With Season 2 of The Mandalorian arriving later this month, fans are getting excited at the prospect of seeing the return of Mando, Baby Yoda, and seeing live action characters of the likes of Ahsoka and potentially Bo-Katan and Sabine Wren. It looks as though another member of the Star Wars Rebels crew could make an appearance in a future episode of the show thanks to a recent appearance in Star Wars Squadrons. Pirate Hera appeared in the video game as a minor character after first gracing our screens in the Rebels series. It also shows that even after the Battle of Endor, that Hera is still around and making an impact to the galaxy. In the game, we find her to be the general of the rebellion leading the Starhawk project. This consists of a fleet of Starhawk ships that come equipped with powerful tractor beams that are supposed to be the New Republic secret weapon against the remnants of the Empire. Squadrons ends by confirming that Hera will continue leading the Starhawk project for the New Republic, but what's interesting is we don't see any of these ships show up by the time of the events of The Force Awakens. This leaves Hera's timeline pretty much open and rife for further exploration as part of The Mandalorian. Given that some of her other crew members from the ship, the Ghost, are set to appear in Season 2, it would be a fantastic chance to introduce us to a live-action version of her. You know, out of all of these live-action characters that were previously only in animation form, such as Ahsoka and Sabine Wren, Bo-Katan, etc., I can see Hera being a very easily doable character. We've seen live-action Twi'leks, so I definitely think this would be a fantastic opportunity for Lucasfilm to turn her into a live-action character and make her a fan favourite. But over to you on this matter, do you think we're going to see her in The Mandalorian, or is this more fan wishful thinking? Let's move on to our next article, and this one is about Timothy Olyphant. So in case you don't know, a few days ago on Disney Plus DE Instagram page, which is Disney Plus's German official Instagram page, they credited Rosario Dawson and Timothy Olyphant as appearing in The Mandalorian Season 2 underneath their new poster, which is of the speeder bike where Mando is driving Baby Yoda through the deserts of Tatooine. Now in this poster they put the credits of Rosario Dawson and Timothy Olyphant really quickly, and then a few moments later they literally took it down, but obviously fans, including myself, did actually get to see it on time. This led to a lot of speculation as to who Timothy Olyphant would be playing, and this article from Fansided talks about it in depth. So let us now get into it. And it states, here's who Timothy Olyphant could have played in The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is certainly popular with Star Wars fans, and this casting adds fuel to the fire. Fan service is one heck of a thing, and no one knows that better these days than Disney. For better or worse, Season 2 of The Mandalorian has been expanding its cast ever since it was first announced. Many of these expansions are characters from other Star Wars TV shows, including Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan, and possibly Temuera Morrison as Clone Trooper Rex or Boba Fett, or both. These inclusions doubtless fueled a ton of fan speculation that followed. One announcement that got a lot of people talking was the casting of Timothy Olyphant. When he joined the show, many people assumed that he would be playing Cad Bane. After all, the creators had already thrown in other several characters, so why not another animated one? So who is Cad Bane and why should we care? Originating in the 2008 Clone Wars TV series, Cad Bane is a ruthless bounty hunter with a look and attitude straight out of the Old West. In crafting this character, George Lucas and company took inspiration from Lee Van Cleef in The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, and that definitely shows. He's quick on the draw with his two pistols, he's always one step ahead of both of his allies and enemies, and he retains his cool swagger under pressure, even from the toughest of obstacles. Bane pulls off jobs that other crooks would balk at. He's the best bounty hunter around and he knows it. He's already shown he can pull the hat off. It's easy to imagine how Olyphant would be suited for a character like this in The Mandalorian. After all, two of the best known roles are both top tier gunslingers, Seth Bullock in Deadwood and Raylan Givens in Justified. What's more is that such an inclusion would feel welcome and natural, since The Mandalorian is already heavily inspired by Western tales. That doesn't only apply to its style and iconography. Not only is the titular character a gunslinging bounty hunter himself, but the show itself deals largely with the seedy underbelly of the Star Wars universe. Given these aspects, a guy like Cad Bane would fit right in. So while this article talks about him possibly playing Cad Bane, the majority of the fandom agrees that he should be playing Cobb Vanth. So let's talk a little bit about that possibility. Cobb Vanth's past is mostly shrouded in mystery, but he's a former slave who freed himself and rose to become the self-appointed sheriff of Freetown on Tatooine. A skilled gunslinger, Vanth is a lawman with no tolerance for criminals. In Wendig's novel, Vanth feuds with the Red Key crime syndicate and encounters Adwin Charu, who was sent by crime lord Logan Marvellan to retrieve a chest of Mandalorian armor found by Jawa scavengers in the wreckage of Jabba the Hutt's sail barge. As the mayor of Freetown, Vanth donned the Mandalorian armor and established a community of decent people to resist the crime syndicates. He also enlisted Mala Kili, the Rancor trainer from Return of the Jedi, to tame vicious beasts and raise a baby Hutt. Vanth even made a deal to ally himself with Tusken Raiders for protection in his war with the Red Key crime syndicate. So while the fan-sided article did claim that Cad Bane's a likely candidate, I would disagree and say Cobb Vanth is the most likely, since Tatooine seems to be playing in a very important role in season 2 of The Mandalorian. It would only make sense that this would link not only the Boba Fett arc, but also the Tatooine arc and how that plays in to the direction that Star Wars is going in with the live action show. If you've gotten this far into the video, I really congratulate you, because now I'm going to tell you about the most interesting news story that I've read, and this one is about the child Baby Yoda and his name. After season 1 aired, a big speculation amongst fans was, what is he called? Whilst there were many jokes on Reddit that he would be the offspring of both Yoda and Yaddle and therefore be called Yiddle, this is actually incorrect. And Dave Filoni has stated multiple times, as well as other people on set, that he does have a name but we're just not allowed to know it yet. Well, it turns out we might be finding out in season 2. Taika Waititi has stated that his name is definitely not Baby Yoda, and while he did speak with Forbes many months ago, it's actually a recent interview that holds the answer. When asked about secrets to come up with The Mandalorian Season 2, he did state that there are many secrets that were even kept from the cast until post-production. When questioned about the identity of Baby Yoda and his real name, he stated that we'd have to wait for Jon Favreau to give that away in season 2. You see, there's a lot of secrets that were kept about The Mandalorian season 1, including the existence of Baby Yoda. He was not in any of the promos, and I think this is going to be exactly the same thing with Ahsoka and Boba Fett, or potentially even more surprise casts, even from the original trilogy. However, I do think we are going to hear Baby Yoda speak at some point in the future seasons, but in season 2 we will find out his actual name, and he does have one, and it was written in the script by Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau from day one. And we know that it's a secret Jon Favreau wanted to keep, and now it's going to be revealed to us in just a matter of weeks. And I think his name will be significant, and whether it's going to be affiliated with the Jedi or the Mandalorian's history, if Mando's going to name him, who knows. But I do think it could relate to Ahsoka. I think she perhaps is the one who's going to name him, or even decipher his backstory and where he came from. I do believe that his name is going to be extremely significant to the Star Wars universe, and I do think they thought it well through. I don't think it's just going to be a banal name that they're just going to throw out, but it might be. That would be quite funny. But I do think that Ahsoka has a lot to do with his arc, and we just have to see how season 2 plays out. Again, you know, we don't really know anything about the plot at this point, and it makes it ever the more exciting knowing we know nothing until it's going to drop on October 30th. So that's all I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed my video, and if you did, please give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and also please consider becoming a patron of mine on Patreon, and I will see you next time. I'm Star Wars Meg.